Christians are one of the most persecuted groups in the world today, facing various forms of violence, discrimination, and marginalization in many societies. Despite being one of the largest religious groups globally, Christians are increasingly becoming targets of hate, intolerance, and hostility. The reasons behind this persecution are complex and multifaceted, involving a mix of historical, cultural, and socio-political factors. One major reason for Christian persecution is the rise of secularism and atheism in many Western countries. As societies become increasingly secularized, traditional Christian values and beliefs are seen as outdated, restrictive, and intolerant. This has led to a growing atmosphere of hostility towards Christians, with many being accused of being judgmental, homophobic, or intolerant. The media often perpetuates negative stereotypes of Christians, portraying them as rigid, close-minded, and out of touch with modern society. This negative portrayal has contributed to a decline in respect and understanding for Christian beliefs and practices, making it easier for Christians to be marginalized and persecuted. Another factor contributing to Christian persecution is the growing influence of radical ideologies such as Islamism and communism. In many countries, these ideologies have led to the suppression of Christian minorities, often through violent means. In the Middle East, for example, Christians have faced brutal persecution at the hands of extremist groups like ISIS, who seek to eradicate all non-Muslim influences from the region. Similarly, in countries like North Korea and China, Christians are subject to severe repression, including imprisonment, torture, and forced labor, for refusing to renounce their faith. The increasing globalization of Christianity has also led to persecution as the faith spreads to new regions and cultures. In many cases, Christian missionaries and converts are seen as a threat to traditional ways of life, leading to resentment and hostility from local communities. In some African and Asian countries, Christians have been accused of being cultural imperialists, seeking to impose Western values and customs on indigenous populations. This has led to violence, intimidation, and harassment of Christian communities, often with the tacit approval of local authorities. In addition to these factors, the persecution of Christians is also fueled by economic and political interests. In some cases, Christians are targeted because they are seen as a barrier to economic development or political power. For example, in countries like India and Pakistan, Christians are often denied access to education, employment, and social services, making them vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. Similarly, in some African countries, Christians are forced to flee their homes due to conflicts over land and resources, leaving them without protection or support. The impact of Christian persecution is devastating, not only for the individuals and communities affected, but also for society as a whole. Persecution can lead to the erosion of social cohesion, the suppression of free speech, and the undermining of human dignity. It can also have severe economic and political consequences, as persecuted Christians are often forced to flee their homes, leaving behind their livelihoods and communities. Furthermore, the persecution of Christians can have a chilling effect on freedom of religion, as people become afraid to express their beliefs or practice their faith openly. In conclusion, the persecution of Christians in society today is a complex and multifaceted issue, driven by a range of historical, cultural, and socio-political factors. As a global community, it is essential that we recognize the gravity of this issue and take concrete steps to address it. This includes promoting greater understanding and respect for Christian beliefs and practices, supporting persecuted Christian communities, and advocating for their rights and freedoms. By working together, we can create a more just and inclusive society where all people can practice their faith without fear of persecution or reprisal. Ultimately, the persecution of Christians is a challenge to our shared humanity, and it requires a collective response to ensure that the rights and dignity of all people are protected and respected.